Hey guys, it's Joe here from Trading Podcast. Our next interview, our second interview actually, is going to be Austin Silver, and he is a senior analyst at T3 Live. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to him, and he's going to quickly introduce himself.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, my name's Austin Silver. I've been trading for going on 5 years. I'm the senior Forex analyst at T3 Live. I actively trade every day, mentor other traders, and on a day like today, I'm enjoying not having to trade, so I'm enjoying the lifestyle of trading as well.
Exactly. It's a holiday over there, isn't it, in America?
Yeah, today's President's Day, so banks are closed, so I don't trade on bank holidays. So I went to
Yep.
the gym this morning, like enjoying myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the best part about being a trader, right? You
It's
know,
definitely one of them. The time freedom is awesome. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I love that part. So I'm going to ask the first question, which I'm sure is on everyone's mind, is how did you discover trading and really what got you interested into trading?
So my interest from trading comes from working as a financial advisor for I worked for two different Fortune 500 like
Oh, wow.
insurance and investment firms. And then while I was working there, I was studying for my Series 7, and I discovered I had never heard of day trading before other than in movies. So then I started to learn more about people that were day trading, and it got me interested. And
Yep.
then after studying day trading and that idea of what that could be, I ended up somehow on Facebook, I found Forex trading because I had done the research and, getting into stocks. It's hard because if you want to actively trade every day, you have to have at least $25,000. Options, I know, is a high minimum starting capital too. So certain markets had like limitations that kept me out of them. So that's why I was like, just happened to stumble upon Forex. I was hungry on day trading and they kind of just meshed together. And it was in that like MLM kind of, we've talked about that before, that kind of cloud of Forex stuff, right? So I
Yep.
fought through that for a couple of months. And then after realizing that like that, those companies aren't really focused on trading like I wanted to be,
Yep.
I had to just kind of go off on my own and do it the way that I knew other successful people had done it too.
Yeah, exactly. And I call them all Instagram traders, by the way. So,
That's
yeah.
perfect.
Look, I think I mean that's cool. I mean, you work for two Fortune 500 companies. That's amazing. Yeah. So, how long ago did you actually start?
So it was about almost 5 years now. So when I was
Yeah.
working I started trading while I was still actually working for the second insurance company that I was working for. That's
Yeah.
when I started to demo and try to figure out what I was doing. But quickly I realized that you had to be kind of all in. And I was actually still in school at the time. I was still in college. And then
Yep.
I ended up dropping out of college to go full time into trading because the trading, like, with the time zones and things like that in Forex, especially when you're new, there's like always there was just so much information. I didn't know exactly when to be trading. I was still trying to figure all that out. And I actually got really sick while I was in college. And I realized I was like, you have to either drop out to go all in on trading to take care of yourself and then trade at like peak performance because you have to be at that level, I think, to trade and make
Yep.
the kind of money that I want to make. Or you have to just focus on school and put trading on the back burner. And I was not into school at all. So I just left and then continued to trade.
That's awesome. The dropping out of the college part. I mean, I'm not saying it's awesome for our viewers, but that's how you hear a lot of successful entrepreneurs start at college, then they drop out to pursue their dreams.
Well,
And yeah,
the the only thing I would say on it, the best way I explain it is people should go to college for two reasons. One, if you need it, if you want to be like a doctor or a lawyer,
yeah,
you
of
have to
course.
go to college to get to the higher level of education. But the second reason would just be to create opportunity for yourself. Like I went there not to be, I was like, I changed majors 4 times. And I did not like business school because they made me take accounting and I hate accounting. I just pay an accountant. Like, you know what I mean? Like real business, you can just pay someone to do that, but they don't teach you that in college. So I went there for the opportunities that it would create, and it did. It got me. I went to a career fair, got the job at the insurance companies, and then the story from there. So it created opportunity for me. So it's a good place for opportunity, but it's not a good place to just go get a piece of paper and then hope you come out and can pay it off. Because like now, I don't know if you saw here in America, they are potentially going to be starting to take student loan payments out of people's paychecks, which I think is going
Oh
to make
wow,
people very mad. Like that is
wow,
ridiculous, but it's because there's so much debt surrounding these student loans right now.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of people struggle with as well as like they finish school, they go to college, they leave college, they get a job, they're in debt.
Yep.
They're stuck paying this payment, and it's unfortunate. I mean, some people don't mind just working for someone else their whole life, and then you get other people that are like, no, well, that's not for me. So
Yeah.
that was me.
Yeah.
I was like that. I was like, that's not for me because I was always like, no, I've got these great ideas, and my boss won't listen to me. I got to go do it on my own. So
If you
um,
ask anybody that knows me, they will always tell you that I say the same thing. I'm always like, I love working with other people, but I always think I can do it my own way better. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it now.
that's I think a lot of us are like that. And that's why we
Yeah.
become traders and whatnot, or or business
Yeah.
owners and whatnot.
It's
So
the
yeah.
alpha. It's like that alpha.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. I was like that in my old job. I was like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. No one would listen. So,
Yeah.
I mean, did you have a mentor in the beginning? Like, did you ever get a mentor, or are you mostly self-taught? And like, and really, when you're starting out, what struggles did you really go through when you're learning how to trade?
Yeah. So I didn't have like a mentor that sat down with me or did calls with me like would coach me the way that I coach the people I work with now.
Yep.
But I had video courses, I had the internet, and I knew that that was like the foundation of everything that I was going off of with this idea that I was going to make a business out of trading. So I was like, let me just trust the internet and see what I can find. And I ended up just finding courses online. And the true story is the one course that like notably made a difference to me. I don't know the name of it. I don't know who made it, but I bought it twice. So like the short version of the story is I paid some guy on Instagram $200. He sent me a video course. I never watched it more than a few minutes. A couple of weeks later, I'm still looking for answers. Dude, like I spent so much money. I don't hide it. I spent so much money on education and signals just trying to figure out through the Instagram, BS wave. But a couple weeks later, I ended up buying the same video course again for another $200. So I spent $400 on this same course twice. And I'm like, this is weird. Let me pay attention to this course and see what's up. I watched it, and that course got me started. And I still use some of the things in that course, but of course, that was 4 years ago now. So it's way modified into more of who I am as a trader now. But that was the foundation. And then from there, like really the internet is the answer. I found people on Instagram that I was kind of trading similarly to, and we just started to work together. And I had local people around me that were also hungry for trading. So you put all these like-minded people together, you can come up with some really simple strategies because everybody's looking at it from a slightly different angle. And if you put everybody's ideas together, sometimes you can make some magic.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's the thing, like um, I always tell people I can teach you everything I know, but I can 100% guarantee you're not going to copy everything I know because you're
Right.
going to tweak things that fit
Right.
you better. And it's like
Right.
buying a course. You buy a
Yeah.
course, you learn, okay, this is how we trade, but let's tweak this a little bit. Let's tweak this a little bit. But I always tell people if you're going to tweak things, go back and back test it. You know,
Always.
you
Yeah, you
have
got
to
to.
know, you got to know how well you're performing in the future. You got to back test it. So, and that's something, I found with my old mentor, he taught me how to trade one way, and I actually he taught me how to. He was more of a counter trend trader,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm a trend trader. So it's like, but I took a lot of things from him, psychologically, mentally, and all that sort of stuff. And then I was just like, well, I actually feel more comfortable trend trading and developed my own trading system. But a lot of what he taught me stuck with me as well.
Well, it's interesting because what I would say, because I do the same thing. What you did was you saw what he was doing and you just kind of inverted the knowledge. You flipped it. You're like, I'm not going to
Yeah,
do that. I'm going to do everything else. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
seeing what not to do almost. You figure out what to do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's how I developed my trading style. So, I mean, look, you got a big following on social media and stuff. So you got quite a few members in your room. I take it from what I see. But what struggles do you see them going through when you mentor them, and what do you see that they could do differently to improve themselves as a trader? Like if you could like just sit down with them and be like, look, guys, this is what I see going wrong. This is what you need to do to improve.
I always tell them it's patience. I see everybody
Yes.
just rushes. Everybody always is rushing. Even if they're patient for 4 days, Monday to Thursday, Friday, someone will cave and someone will
Yeah.
do something stupid. And they'll end
Yes.
up 6 trades deep on a day where there was maybe one trade or none. And you should have had no trades on your P&L and they had six. And then we're looking at each other and we're like, how did this happen when you were so good Monday to Thursday? And it's just because one, I think it goes to your routine, like what you're doing the night before and in the morning to set up your day. If you're flustered, you're more likely to slip in your discipline.
Yeah.
But if you can be really routined and really disciplined, then you can be consistent behind that. I don't think you'll run into a lot of the struggles that most people do. Most people struggle because they aren't able to be really consistent in the routine and in their trading plan, like behind the plan. So it's always patience. And it sucks to say that because it's such like a corny psychological tip, but it's so true. And if you can just internalize like, all right, I'm going to start to learn how to trade. This is what I tell the new people. Just accept the fact it's going to take you 5 years. Even if it doesn't, great. We'll all clap for you when you cross $1 million in year 2. But if it doesn't, accept the fact that it'll take you 5. But if you can commit to it for 5 without running out of mental capital or financial capital, then you're going to figure it out. So you'll figure it out in some way. I've never met anyone that survived for 5 years with, not blowing all their money and not getting mentally burnt out and was still losing.
Yeah. Man, I agree. For me, it took me 4 years to become actual profitable in trading. And, and that's why I tell everyone, don't think of it. This is where I see people go wrong as myself is they get into it and they just quickly want to make money. They want to make money now. And what I tell people is, you don't know how to make money yet in trading. So focus on how to make money and then make the money. And, and like you said, it's all patience. You just got to sit on your hands when the market doesn't look right. And it comes back to that Friday thing you're talking about. What I struggle, I can kind of vouch for that myself. I used to do that. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to be patient. If I don't, when I was learning, and I'd be like, I'd get to Friday, I'm like, I haven't had trades all week. I'm going to close this trade. Like, I'm going to close this week with nothing. Like, no trades, nothing. I got to take a trade. And then I'll take a trade. I'll take a loss. And that week would be a loss when it could have been a break-even week. So
yeah, it's a constant, like it is a mental battle. I've really like, it's again, corny to say it, but the technical aspect of trading, once you have a system, like whether it's yours, mine, Frank's, whoever's, like it doesn't matter. Once you have a system that's back tested and proven, that's like statistical fact. You can't fight that. But where everybody screws up is when they make bad decisions. It's like playing ping pong. If you play somebody really good in ping pong, all you have to do is just keep it in play with them and wait for them to make a mistake. You know what I mean? It's just about who can be more consistent. It's going to come out. That's who's going to come out on top. So it's a battle with yourself every single day. And it's tough. Yeah, it's tough, but it's rewarding. Like, that's what I'm saying. We talked about that at the beginning, like being able to do what I did today, or being like, we have a webinar coming up this week. Like these things that I can now build my life around. It's like, all right, I want to go to the gym now. Like those are the rewarding aspects of being disciplined. Like I reward myself with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And that's like me, like, it's funny. Like what I always tell people is I absolutely love Mondays, and I don't live for the weekends, right? I live for Monday to Friday. It's because that's when I know the market's open. That excites me. So
me too.
And that's the reward. That's the reward. You own your outcomes. That's what it is.
Yeah, that goes again, I think, back to like the alpha male kind of thing, the eat what you kill kind of attitude that us traders like to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I mean, after you started trading, how long did it actually take you to be consistently profitable? Even if you're not profitable, like just to the break-even stage, even how long did it actually take you?
So the whole first year, almost year and a half, I just lost money. And then 18 months to 24 months is when I started to become very consistent. And then from the 2-year mark on, I never had any major blow-ups or steps back. And since then, it's been, knock on wood, very good. So it was 18 months, basically. You could say 2 years if you want, of just like a lot of pain. But I'm a big Gary Vee fan. And the way I explain it to people is Gary Vee always says, like, you got to eat the shit to get to where you want to be. Like, eat short-term hardships to get to where you want to be in the future, like sacrificing the short term. So I was about it. I had money saved up. I had I actually had 2 other streams of income at the time. So I was more than willing to just say, I'm going to take it. And I lost more money than most people, I think, in the beginning, because I spent money not only on trading, and I was losing money in my trading account, but I spent money on education, signals. I thought people were going to send me trades to my phone and they were going to give me, like, it didn't work like that. You need knowledge, and I wasn't understanding it. So I just spent money on everything just to try to get through it all. You know what I mean? I bought everybody's course. I bootlegged courses. Like, I did everything. I bought penny stock courses so that cost me a lot of money. But once I, again, found that other course and started to really fight through, that was about 18 months in. And then from then on,
it's kind of like looking for the Holy Grail. You're searching for the Holy Grail. So that's crazy. But I mean, 18 months, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like I said, it took me 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very lucky that I found that video course, and it like I'm telling you, that was a big game changer for me, because there wasn't anybody else using, I think, the ideas that that course had in it, which is why it was working well. Because and it also came from two totally different, literally, parts of the world. The course that I bought the guy from the first time was in Florida, and the second time I got it from a group that was run out of France. And I was like, why is this video course all over the world? Like, I need to watch this. You know what I mean? And that was what that set me up. And then when I went back and I rebuilt my own courses, I made sure that they were even more well-rounded than those courses, because I had been through so much crap. I realized what was crap, and I was like, I'm not going to put my name on something that sucks. I need to put out something that when someone watches it, they're like, yes, I'm a beginner, and now I feel better to move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I went through so much where you were just like, didn't I just pay for this? Didn't I just watch this same thing somewhere else? Like, you know what I mean? It was just regurgitated in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that 100%. It's it's crazy how the world works, really, isn't it? It's kind of like it's kind of like as the universe is like, Austin, take this course. Just
almost, dude. And it's just a weird thing, because I still think we're early on this Forex stuff. Like, I think there's always been Forex traders. You know, it's popping in the UK. I'm sure it's much more popping where you live than where I live. But especially in America, like, it's coming. Like, people, I have a theory that I'm working on, that it's just with all the job loss that is going to come in my country, in the US for sure, because of automation and robots, people are going to need to shift to this digital age of making money. And Forex trading is an answer, regardless of if you want to say it's risky because you have to put your money into it. You got to put your money into any business. But in the future, in 10, 15 years from now, the money that you put, I feel like, into a trading account, and you try to invest with it or trade with it, either one, whatever you can actively do, I feel like that is a better use of the time, energy, capital, everything, because 10 years from now, 15 years from now, a brick and mortar store is going to be almost worthless. Maybe we don't know. So it's like people have to get with this digital age of making money, whether you're doing drop shipping too, and you're doing other stuff online, like, it doesn't matter. You have to get with the digital age.
100%. And you see a lot now is in my area. It's actually in Australia. It's actually quite dead, Forex trade. Not many people know about it.
Really?
So everyone knows about cryptos because of the big Bitcoin little boom. No one knows about Forex. You tell them, yeah, I'm a Forex trader. They're like, well, what's that? You tell them, they're like, oh, it's like crypto. I'm like, oh, no, it's before crypto. But it's long before crypto. It's real money. No, but
right.
And you know, so it's actually like something that's booming in my country as well. Even in my city where I live in a small, well, it's like 700,000 people in my city, and you see a lot of young people starting to go to trying to make themselves an online business. And what I tell people is Forex trade is an online business. That's what it is. It's the ultimate online business, because you don't have to market it to people. You don't have to sell anything to people. It's just you and your trading account.
Yep. And you live and die by it. But that's why people don't like it, because some people don't want that. I learned that this year, I think, that some people don't like that kill what you eat, almost like a salesman job. They want that steady check where they don't have to really do too much. You know, like
it's a comfort zone.
Yeah, it's a comfort zone, exactly. And I think people back themselves in like financial expenses too, where they can't actually afford to take the jump and try something like this, because they back themselves into their monthly check that they get from their job with their expenses, and then they're kind of stuck, and they can't even get into this when this is the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a booming industry, which is great.
Yep.
It's great for us educators as well, you know, so, you know, getting in there early. So
exactly.
Another question is, you know, when you were going through those 18 months of blowing money and just feel like you're never going to get and stuff, what kept you going? What motivated you to keep on going and not just giving up?
I think the reason I trade is for time freedom. Like, I do it to have my free time because I know how valuable that is. To me, that's more valuable than money, because you can make money. Money comes and goes. Bills go up and down. That's always fluctuating your entire life. But the only thing that you actually lose, we all know, because it's on those corny Instagram memes, but it's time. You know what I mean? Like, you lose time and you can never get it back. So for me, I trade for that free time. So I think when I was going through that period, and it was hard. Like, I honestly remember crying one night in my apartment like when I was right before I dropped out of college. I was like, this is all too much. Like, it was overwhelming. But like, I knew that it was more I would be crying more nights if I was working a 9 to 5. Like I knew that for sure. So I was like, there's no way I'm going back to that. I've already cut the ties. And I just understood that because I just honestly, I surrounded myself with a lot of positivity. I just listened to Gary Vee, Grant Cardone. Like I just drilled that into my head, and all they would just say is be patient, be patient, be patient, trust what you're doing. Trust, you know what I mean? So I just would, you got to kind of blindly follow them. Because I saw, with no disrespect to my family and my people, like elders close to me, I saw people around me and what they were doing and how much money they made and like the lifestyle that they were living, and it wasn't what I wanted. So I was like, I can't listen to them. I have to go to these other outside sources.
I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. I get it. You know, I was very much the same. You know, you know, I mean, obviously it took me longer than it took you, but you know, it's kind of the same thing. You know, when I first, actually, the year that I went profitable,
Mm-hmm.
I get that was the year I'm like, I'm giving it one more year. If I don't make it this year, I'm done. I quit.
Yeah.
That year I was profitable, and that
There
was
it is.
crazy. I was like, whoa, I did it, you know, and it was a great feeling. But it was, you know, for me, it was just like it was the same thing. I still do it. I make it a habit every single day. The first thing I want to listen to, I don't listen to music. I don't listen to anything like that. I go and I listen to motivational speakers and that kind of stuff,
Yep.
and it
It's the
keeps me
best thing to
going.
do. Yeah.
I prefer listening to that than listening to music in the morning, because I'm like, that gets me going for the day. That motivates me to go for the day. When I do feel like down in the dumps, when I'm like, oh, you know, it has been a bad training day. It might have. This month, actually, honestly, this month has been very dull for me in trading.
Yeah.
I've had 2 break-even weeks already,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's been very dull. There's just been no trends, because I'm a swing trader as well, so I'm a higher time frame. So there's no major trends for me and all that sort of stuff. So you can get down in the dumps a bit as a trader, because you're like, well, I'm not making money trading and that kind of stuff. But you know, what keeps me going is I'm like, it's only 2 weeks. I've still got the rest of the year. You know,
Yeah, man.
patience. You know, it's just
Patience. That's
patience.
it, dude. It always comes back to patience.
It
That's
does,
it.
yeah. And you know, so just listening. I think like you said, is listening to motivational stuff, as well as surrounding yourself with other like-minded people, and that's what I do in life as well, in business, everything. I you know, I, I try to surround myself with like-minded people that we're just driving each other, we're motivating each other, and it really keeps you going
Yeah,
when you are
absolutely.
down. So you know, that's awesome. So if you don't mind me telling, is a little bit about your trend style. You're trend trading, aren't you? And
I'm only a trend trader. Very rare. Like I'll tell you the truth. Right now, I'm working on an idea of trying to. I wouldn't call it picking bottoms, but it would be like a reversal move at a midpoint in the day. I'm finding if you
yeah,
can identify some divergence, you might be able to pick it and see how far it can return and retrace the earlier move it made. But I would never call myself counter trend because that's to me illogical. So I just would rather rock with the trend. I do short-term trades. I don't
yeah,
really hold anything overnight, very, very rarely. And only mid-week. I never would hold over the weekend. And then I just try to get in and out as fast as possible. My idea is like I want to just bag consistent pips, even if it's
yeah,
15, 20. Even honestly, more recently, I've been doing some smaller trades on the smaller time frames where the risk is only 6 pips, and maybe on like a CAD JPY pair that's a little slower, I'll
yeah.
risk 6. But if I can go get 12, I'm taking the trade
That's
always.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy. See, like
yeah,
I'm the opposite. Like I'm a trend trader, but when there's no trends, I do have another trading system where it is sort of, you know, like very similar to like what you said, is picking tops and bottoms. When there's no trend, you're just trying to trend the ranges and whatnot.
yes,
But
same.
that's my sort of backup if there's no trends. But so I'm the exact opposite. Is you're day trading and all that sort of stuff, and um, I find it very uncomfortable on the lower time frames.
Yeah,
It's not my
it's so
comfort zone,
interesting.
you know.
Yeah,
My
it's
comfort
interesting.
is the higher time frames, and that's where I feel comfortable. That's what I tell people is what's your comfort zone when it comes to trading? You know, where do you feel comfortable? Some people don't like you said, some people don't like to hold trades for overnight, for weeks on end, for a few days on end, over the weekend. And for me, I like that, but I don't like the idea of for myself in and out every day or that kind of stuff, because I it's too much for me.
No,
So yeah,
I think it's very important to identify the trading style that fits your characteristics for sure.
100%. And
Yeah.
the beautiful thing is the beautiful thing is, you know, we could have the same trading style except apply it to higher time frames or lower time frames a lot of
Yep.
time, because the markets,
Yep.
you get the same moves except higher time frames might be, you know, the same patterns, but you get them on the lower time frames as well. So you just trade on lower time frames. So
Exactly.
that's all the people.
And that's why Forex is so cool too, because it is such a technical market. We don't have like earnings gaps and stuff like that that stocks do. So it's very easy to kind of study these markets and really fall into their trends.
Yeah, and you only need to identify a few things. Like that's what
Yeah.
I tell people. If I look at a chart and I don't see something I like in the first 10 seconds, I move on. I'm finding the
Yeah.
next chart.
You said
Because
that to me the first time we did a call. That's so funny. You said that to me like the first time we ever spoke. That's exactly what you said.
did yeah, I think I
Same way.
did, yeah. And that's the thing, because I know exactly what my setup looks like, and that's all I look for. I just know those few setups that I look for. If I don't
Yeah.
see them, okay, move on. I'm not going to bother sticking to that chart when I'm going to be watching someone else. So that's crazy. Um, so like if you could go back in time, right now,
Mhm.
if you could go back to when you first started trading, what one piece of advice would you give yourself?
That's like the hardest question I think on your sheet. I think the
Yeah,
best piece of advice is to go slower. I always go too
yeah,
fast and I judge things too quickly. If you listen, like the first story I told at the beginning of the call, I bought this same video course twice.
yeah,
What does that show about my characteristics? It shows that I rush and I didn't give the first one, the first time I bought it, enough time. Because if I had, I probably would have figured out what I would have figured out the second time. You know what I'm saying? And not spent the extra money. So little things like that. And I do it on a daily basis. My goal last year and my goal this year, 2018 and 2019, the number one thing for me has just been to slow down.
yeah,
So if I could go back all the way to when I started, I would just be like, slow down, start with less money, invest less money into education, and trust my gut more that I need to just, if I had an idea, stick to it for a little bit, trust it. You know what I mean? My thing has always been in everything I do in my life. I'm very analytical of myself. I bounce from ideas too quickly. So I've been
yeah.
working on just slowing myself down. And I think that would have made me at least lose less money when I first started trading. And that would have been beneficial.
I think, look, honestly, from what I
Mhm.
see, I think a lot of people are in the same boat when it comes to trade. Everyone's rushing because everyone feels that, well, I need to get it now. I need to. It's like what we were talking about before, the patience thing. You know, um, I need it now. I need to make money now. I need to be in the market now. I need to sell the market now. I need to buy the market now. If I don't sell, I'm not making any money. So it comes back to
Yep.
just slow down, chill out, sit on your hands, be a little bit patient, and just trust things are going to work out if you stick to your routines.
Yep.
And,
It's
and
all discipline to the routines, discipline to
yeah,
the plan. It's it.
that's it. And that's what I tell everyone. For me, because I mean, I trade full time. I'm working from home and stuff, so I have a
Yep.
routine. Like my whole trading plan. My whole trading, actually, I have a business plan around my trading, and it has my
Yeah, you
daily
have to.
routines. It has
Yep.
what times I trade. It has, I don't trade the Asia session. It's just dead, you know.
Yep.
And what I find out is if you get a good breakout in the Asia session, it reverses London
Yep.
session. So I don't take breakouts in the Asia session, that kind of stuff. It has all this sort of stuff. And you need that in trading because it does help you to slow down, it does help you have patience,
Yeah.
and it does give you a routine. And you sit there and you're like, well, hang on, okay, this isn't just a chart on my screen. This is a business,
Yeah.
and this is what my business says to
Yep.
do. So it's about having a big plan. That's what I tell everyone. It's amazing. So, I mean, another question is, if you don't mind me asking, how long did it take you to quit your job to start trading?
I quit my job at a little bit after the 2 year mark because like I said, I had a couple streams of income. One of them was from working a sales position during the week. Another stream of income was my trading that was hit or miss for those first couple of months / year and a half.
Yep.
Then I also was DJing on the weekends. So between those streams of income, and I also got paid a little bit for some stuff I was doing on social media at the time.
Yep.
Between all the sources of income, after the 2 year mark, I had been consistent with the trading for about 6 months. And I was like, all right, I'm going to just leave that, build a routine, like you just said, because I have the same thing. It's actually posted on my wall right behind my screens. It's my trading plan, my business plan. I have the routine when I wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, do the whole thing before I get to the screens, don't look at my phone. But all of that had to come after I quit because when I
Yes.
was still working the job, I was like, wake up, trade, drive to do a call, drive, check the charts. Like I was all over the place, man. And it was
Yeah.
crazy. So I had to like get out of that as quick as possible. So I traded a little smaller those first 6 months to just be really consistent. And then once I was like, all right, this works, I'm going. And then at that point, I started to build a business around it where people were paying me to learn what I was doing too. So then I had money coming in from there. So I was like, all right, I got streams of income here. I got to make this work. If I don't jump now, when am I going to jump? And then I just never looked back, and it's working so far.
You got to just jump. That's why, it's like jumping over, it's just taking a leap. Just taking a leap and just trust it. Just do it. And that's what I think not enough people do in life is that they have all these crazy ideas like, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's just like, hey, you know what? Just try it. Just try. Just do it. Like, oh, what if I fail? I'm like, well, if you don't give up, you haven't really failed. That's what I tell people.
I even past that, like if you fail, well, you just learn the lesson and move on. Do it again. Be smarter the second time. Okay, you fail again. Like it's the same thing with trading. Like if you have a bad trade, what do you do about it? Literally nothing. You analyze, and then you have to just be better the next time. So learn from it and then be better literally you have to be better. So I take every failure that way. Like yesterday, I hadn't done pull-ups in a while at the gym. And I was like, I'm going to do 4 sets of 10 and I'm not going to stop until I finish it. I'm just going to get my 40. I'm going to feel good about it. Dude, I was hurting on those last 3 on the last 2 sets, like hurting. But it was like that uncomfortable pushing through. That's that characteristic. Again, we always relate this back to that alpha male characteristic, but there it is again, how it all, you know what I mean? It all ties together. Yeah.
And that's it. The best thing is, as weird as it may sound, I find the most comfortable part of life is getting out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort, just like you, like at the gym, just really pushing yourself, because it may only be like 3 more sets, 3 more reps. I mean, and you're really uncomfortable. You're just like, I just can't stand. I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna give up. You do it, and you're like, wow, I'm done. I feel good. I'm done. I pushed myself.
You got to do things that are hard. Like I ran today, this morning at the gym. I was running on the treadmill. I hate running because I tore my hamstring when I was running track in college, and it hurts, but I healed it, and now I hate running, but I still push through it because nobody's on the treadmills. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to be easy and just lift a couple weights, ride that stationary bike. I'm like, no, I'm going there. I'm going to do something hard. I'm going to probably hurt myself maybe, but I'm going to come out better because of it. And I do. Like I feel so good because I push myself to do those hard things. And then I'm on the treadmill. I'm thinking, I'm like, I can directly relate this to my trading. I'm like, each step that I take is like one small winning trade towards the bigger goal, towards me finishing this 2 miles, you know what I mean? So it's the same, it's the same thing. So I have to go to the gym and do that stuff because it's literally almost like the same feeling in a way as winning those trades, following those plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And on the same, going back a few years ago, actually quite a few years ago, I was actually training for bodybuilding, natural, like I wasn't doing steroids and that kind of stuff. It was all natural bodybuilding, and that was my passion. That's what I wanted to create a career out of. This is before I was training full time and whatnot. I wanted to create a career out of bodybuilding, nutrition, all that sort of stuff, that kind of life. And really, when I got into training, that actually overlapped it all, and I was like, wow, this is really what I want to go. So now it's like, now when I go to the gym, actually, I've got a treadmill at home. So every morning I run, every afternoon, before bed, I go for a run on the treadmill.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
I don't care about doing weights anymore. Like that just doesn't bother me anymore. I just wanna run. And I used to hate cardio. My trainer used to make me do cardio, and I would chuck a tantrum. You know what I mean? I hated it. So,
but it's honestly, I do the cardio more than I do a lot. I do a lot of weighted abs and back, but I do a lot of cardio just because sitting at my desk, I got a standing desk now. So I get to, like right now I'm standing, but I think you have to try to find that healthy balance. Cause we do I'll spend 2 days sometimes in my house and not leave and just work out and just work. And that's not good for me. So I got to go and get on the treadmill, loosen my legs up. And that's why especially, I don't know exactly what your routine is, but the one thing I would change about my routine and I would recommend to other people is if you can work out before you start trading, I would do it. Even if it's 10 minutes on the treadmill, just walking up on an incline, the science has proven too much that that stimulates your brain positively more than just waking up and having a cup of coffee.
100%. That's actually my routine is before I go to the desk, I go on the treadmill, 15 minutes. So I do. And I feel great. I'll finish the treadmill, go have a shower, have breakfast. I'm at my desk. I feel awake. I feel alive. I'm clear-headed because I haven't just woken up, had a coffee, still half asleep and drowsy. Your body's awake. It's like, let's go. All these endorphins are going. So that really comes down to, I think I'm not preaching a health coach lesson here, but being having a healthy lifestyle
It's
really is important for your success in the future.
yes.
You know, I found, if I eat like, crap foods and whatnot, I feel sluggish. I can't think straight, all this sort of
Yep.
stuff. So you eat healthy food, you work out regularly, and, you feel great. You think
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much more clearly. It can help you in life, it can help you in business, it can help you in trading, everything.
Yeah, you have to, because it's like the same thing. So I actually, even going even deeper about the health stuff, I had got my first massage last week. The lady told me, she was like, because you work out so much, she's like, you should come in here at least every 2 weeks. I'm like,
Yeah,
really? She's like, yeah, like real athletes come in here all the time to take care of themselves. So
yeah,
like maintaining your body to be at like peak performance, it goes into the food that you're eating, goes into the sleep you're getting, like the routine that you're doing is a kind of an important piece, but I'm speaking more about the specifics. Like how many vegetables are you actually making sure you eat on a daily basis to make sure you're giving your body the nutrients that it needs, not just junk food. Because you're right, when you eat junk food, when I eat like shit on Sunday, it shows on a Monday. So it's
yeah.
like I try to just cut it out completely. My girlfriend, I'll blame her for all the junk food that I eat, but past that, yeah,
It's her fault.
it's all her fault. That's it. Yeah, she buys ice cream and leaves it here. It's her fault.
That's my wife does that too. Don't worry, my wife does it. She'll buy
Yep.
everything. I tell her, don't buy this. She'll
Oh
go
yeah,
buy it.
because you and me will destroy it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I'll see.
Yep.
I'm like, damn it. It's funny. But it's like, I think it's that Tony Robbins says, 70% of what you eat should be greens.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
mean,
yeah.
I notice I feel different if I don't have a smoothie in the, like at least once a day. I make it myself. I put 2 bananas, spinach,
Yeah.
strawberries, like the whole thing. Like if I just do that, the whole day is better, especially if I do it in the morning. And I've also been doing intermittent fasting. I'll stop eating at 8 o'clock at night.
I do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that helps too.
Yeah. Actually, that was introduced to me by a friend of mine. And it I found it's really great. Like I love intermittent fasting, and
Yeah.
you actually burn a lot more. You burn a lot of weight doing that as well. It's
Yeah. And
crazy.
it
So,
makes you sharp. Like I notice I'm sharper.
yeah, yeah, and it's just crazy. Like doing these like just apart from the whole like business side of things, with trade and all that sort of stuff. If you having a healthy routine, as we said before, having a healthy routine in life, what you eat, how you train. If you take care of yourself and you take care of your brain and all this sort of stuff, you eat the right foods for your brain. It's gonna reward you. It's gonna
Yep.
reward you with thinking clearly, being sharp. You're not gonna be all drowsy and all this sort of stuff and sort of stuff. So, but I mean, so you had your first massage the other week, your first
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I love
Dude,
massages. I
I,
get,
I, I'm, I'm missing out.
I'm actually going for my first chiropractor session this week
Ooh, that
because
sounds
I've
cool too.
I've got so much tense like in my shoulders and on my traps and the
Yep.
back of my neck,
Yep.
and I just need an alignment, I think, and all my friends are saying, when they do it, they just feel so much better.
Dude, my girlfriend's been on me for that too. She's like, just go and stop complaining about it. Because I
Yeah,
get my neck's real tight up near my head.
that's
She's
like
like,
me. Yeah,
no, shut up. And I'm like, okay, I'll get there eventually.
yeah. And I get real tight neck, tight traps, and then I get headaches from it, and then I feel, like some headaches. I can't think clearly. So yeah, I was referred to by friends go to a chiropractor.
Yeah.
They'll crack your neck and they'll make it all better. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that.
No, dude, you got to tell me how it goes. Because if you tell me it's good, then I'm going to go do it.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I'm going this week. I'll let you know exactly how it goes.
So I figured one of the last things we could touch on would be just your opinion and maybe my opinion we could share just to try to help people. I think one of the things the only other thing I like had for a talking point was on the scams out there on Instagram and on
Yes.
social media that are like literally like I have people, and I kind of want to put this out there for your listeners. There are
Yeah.
people that literally take my pictures, make fake accounts, and tell
Yes.
people, give me $1,000, and then they take their money, and then it looks like me, but it's not me. And I have people DM me, and they're like, "Is this your real account?" Because like I'm talking to you over here, and I'm like, "No, that is not me. This is me. That's some weirdo scamming people." And like I just think that there's all this negativity that surrounds our business because of that stuff,
Yeah.
and it makes it harder for guys like you and me to show off what the business can actually be. You know what I mean?
100%. And I remember actually inboxing you one day, be like, "Hey, here's another account," and I blocked and reported them as well. But a lot of the time, you'll see it's their profile picture, and it'll be like, a lot of the time, it's Bitcoin mining, earn
Yes.
$1,000 a day, Bitcoin mining, and
Yes.
straight away, it's fake. As soon as I see binary options or Bitcoin mining. I'm like, it's a fake account.
Fake, always. It's
It's,
always fake.
it's yeah, it's pretty easy to tell fake accounts, but for newer people, I suppose it's hard to tell. But yeah, that is a huge thing. I'm still waiting for my first fake account to be made.
Dude, it's a pain in the ass. Trust me, you don't want it. And it sucks too because like between the fake accounts like that shit and then the guys on Instagram, especially, I don't see them on other platforms as much, but they're on Instagram. In their bio, it says Forex trader, but not one of their pictures has a chart or anything. It's like them
Exactly.
hanging out at a car dealership talking about like some motivational quotes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't even know what they're selling. Like if I at least knew what you were selling very clearly, and if you weren't trying to be sneaky that you're in iMarkets Live or whatever, then like maybe I'd take it seriously. But like it comes off as shady and it makes it really hard for, like I said, people like you, me, Akil, like these other guys. We just have to keep going and we have to be the consistent ones when those guys change their Instagram profile or they delete it and make a new one or what, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we have to still be the ones that are there. I think that's the only answer.
And that's it. And I think the real followers know who the real people are anyway. So, but
I
it
think that,
does suck because it's I actually heard another trader talking about this recently here, and I'm actually going to have him on an interview as well,
yeah,
hopefully, if he agrees. But I have messaged him, and he was telling me about how someone actually sorry, this guy had a fake profile made about him, started
yeah,
messaging his students and whatnot that he was teaching how to trade, and some of them actually gave him money, and then he's like, guys, this is not me. This guy, this is not me. Like, don't give this guy money. It's a fake account,
yeah,
and it's crazy. Like, it's kind of like if you just and that's what I tell people. If I mean for you, if there's an account out there, you know, your picture and all that sort of stuff, just do your research before you accept anything. Click on any links, and if it looks dodgy, it's dodgy. You know what I mean?
definitely.
Yeah.
That's the
But you get
best.
all the time.
Yep,
Jason Greystone's been getting a lot of them lately, from what I've seen.
yep. I've seen them too.
Yeah, it's nuts. So I'm waiting for mine. Hopefully not, but I don't have a big enough following yet.
Dude, and then once you have it, you'll wish you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh well. Last question. Any
Sure.
advice for new traders?
Just keep going. That's it. Like I say it casually because I mean it casually. Keep going. There's no rush. You shouldn't be trying to make $1 million today or tomorrow, or even if you're starting with small money, you're not going to make $1,000 in your first trade. You can't expect unrealistic returns. I'm a
Yeah,
big believer. I don't know where the people will always be like, oh, it's this guy's quote or this guy's quote. I don't care where it comes from, but it's the idea of setting small goals and then patting yourself on the back every time you hit them. And
yeah,
like for me, one of those goals is every day when I follow my routine and I don't overtrade and I don't break my rules, that's a pat on the back. Those are my small
exactly.
milestones. And
Yeah,
those small milestones get you to the big one without you even knowing that you did that. You know what I mean? So don't go unrealistic. Keep it consistent. Keep it tight. And then if you just really, really stay focused and if you have good education, it works. Like trading really does work. You just have to work for it, you know?
100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's good advice right there. It's kind of like improving yourself by 1% a day.
Yep. That's
It's
it.
and like you said, if little goals, you get those little goals, and they add up to a big goal in the end,
Yeah.
which is where a lot of people go wrong. They just want the
Yeah.
big goal. They don't want to work for that little goal all the time.
Well, if like we always say, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And the
Exactly.
fact that not everybody can do it makes it more valuable for us. So
That's
as
it.
much as that's not the most positive way to look at it, that's life.
That's it, man. And that's life, right? So
Yep.
cool. All right, man. That pretty much brings us to the end. We've been on for 40 minutes almost. So
Cool. Thank you,
thank
Joe.
you
I
for coming.
appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. Everyone listening, Austin Silver from T3 Live. Just want to thank you for coming on. And yeah, so if you guys don't know him, go check him out on Instagram. Austin Silver FX, is it? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's me.
Austin Silver FX. Thank you guys for listening, and we hope to see you in the next podcast.